Iron Dome from tall, thick, chocolate female plugs. Kanye shrug, hitting numbers that matter.
Thanks for tuning to the Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland. Really appreciate the love. Make sure you guys click the like button, subscribe. And I'm going to keep dropping this material for you guys. First and foremost, just want to thank you guys for the 1,000 subscribers that subscribe to the channel. I know the channel was pretty much audio, but I was just pretty much getting up the courage to start, talking and seeing about reviewing, as well as, when you start hearing people like, man, you should go ahead and put a review up and you should start reviewing the stuff too. And so, I'm just pretty much taking some constructive criticism from people and putting some information out there. But once again, this page is pretty much about Black empowerment. And we talk about a lot of Black issues. Everything here is Black. But first off, we try to talk about issues going on in the Black community, with relationships, with women, with men, as well as, just things going on in the Black community, period, with our young men, as well as we have different interviews on here from Dr. Umar to Sister Ali, Kevin Samuels, who else? Frances Cress Welsing, I believe that's her name, and more. I have a few podcasts on her. I think her name is Courtney Michelle. I think the Sister Ali one that I did, she was the interviewer on that one. But I believe I did tag her, or I did put her name in the description and everything. If not, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. But yeah, so I just try to give some enlightenment to everybody who watches the channel, who's interested in, bettering our community. The Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland, pretty much what we do is, we're a nonprofit organization in Cleveland, trying pretty much helping young men as well as women be more successful and monetize. And our focus is to help them monetize their hustles. So, our mentality is to get in there and teach kids how to be financially literate, how to start businesses, how to, work with customers, customer service, how to talk to people, just really mentorship in business, but as well as mentorship in life as well, because we also know a lot of, unfortunately, in our community, there's a lack of fathers in the home. So I'm a father of two, so, I have some opinions on fatherhood and some of the things that they speak about on fatherhood, as well as I have some opinions on, dating, because I'm single, so I'm dating. I'm not married, so I definitely have a lot of opinions on a lot of things that Kevin Samuel says and a lot of things that other people say. So yeah, so that's why I'm here. That's why the channel is here. Once again, I appreciate the love. We're going to keep it going, and I'm just going to keep dropping just like I was dropping before. Nothing's going to change. You're just going to see my face at the bottom of the screen. So let's get to it. Let's get back to it. So we have a conversation with a queer guy and Dr. Umar Johnson, pretty much talking about the position of the LGBTQ, or the Black LGBTQ, and just differences with sexuality and politics. So let's keep it moving, and of course I'll chime in from time to time.
The amount of violence experienced within Black communities. And so oftentimes intra-communally, because we know violence is proximity-based, right? Black, cis, which means you born a man and you still identify as a man.
Wait, and clarify again, Z, what was your gender assigned at birth?
Well, I don't understand the relevancy of that.
No, because you answered it early. I just want to remember, because somebody said, I called you queen because I thought you said your gender assigned at birth was a female. Was that correct?
No, I said I was queer. I said I was queer throughout this process.
No. I got the queer part, but what was your gender assigned at birth?
Right, I was assigned female at birth.
Okay, you was assigned female at birth. That's why I called you queen. Okay, so because somebody I'm on fan base, just so you know, Z, as we have the conversation, I'm on my Facebook and I'm on fan base, and somebody on fan base said, did you call a man queen? But you was assigned the gender of female at birth, so I was appropriate. I thought they were saying I was
He missed out because honestly, yes, you called him queen, but he said earlier to call him or he or him was his preferred pronoun. So Umar slipped up on that one.
Representing. Okay, go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
You are misrepresenting me, but
Okay, so.
He said you are misrepresenting.
No, but no, I want to be educated, Z. No, I want to be educated, sis. When I call you queen or sister, based on the gender you was assigned at birth, is that disrespectful to you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, why is it disrespectful to you, and what would you prefer I call you?
Well, you can stay away from the royals because...
No, that's just who I am. You don't have no control over that. Do you understand where I'm coming? No. I want you to make sure you stay within the zone of what is eligible to be critiqued. In other words, I have black women who will say, don't call me queen. It's not up to them. Because calling black women queen is second, stay with me, is second nature. You understand? It's like, I'll call a grandmother queen mother. She might say, I don't want to be called queen mother. It don't matter. I'm going to give you the title of respect whether you like it or not. So for you, what would, okay, getting away from the royals, calling you sister would be disrespectful if I understand you. Correct?
If we working in the politics, you can call me comrade.
Okay, but comrade is political. Comrade is political. What would be the appropriate gender pronoun for you?
He, him.
He, him is a one? That's one?
He, him. I mean, it's a pronoun. You asked for the pronoun.
No.
So
But what I'm saying is he, him, one pronoun, because that's two words. So is that a hyphen between them, or are you giving me two options? Are you saying call me he or call me him, or is he, him a single descriptor? You follow where I'm coming from? Are you putting those two together, or those?
No.
Okay.
Umar, I feel Umar.
Okay. So even though you was assigned female at birth,
you want to be called him.
Identify as he. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, let's keep it simple. Yes.
Okay, I got you now.
Good.
I got you now.
Yeah.
Let me go to the next.
Can I call you sir?
Yo, what's up? Yeah.
Peace and love, brother. Are you homosexual, bisexual?
I don't want to disclose. I don't think that it's relevant. I think the people who know in the audience, they know.
But I need to know, brother, because you're having a conversation with me.
Well,
I mean,
is it Thursday? I'm straight today. It's Thursday.
what do you mean you straight today is Thursday, brother? Be honest with me, brother. Are you straight? Are you gay? What?
I really want to solve a problem.
Okay, and I'm gonna let you solve that problem, Brandon. But Brandon, tell me how you identify, brother. What's wrong with telling me?
I'm poor.
You're poor. I'm asking about your sexual orientation, brother. Come on now.
I've been here for a while.
This was the beginning of the interview.
Just tell me, brother, and then you could go right into your point. I just want to know your frame of reference, brother. That's
allow me the courtesy of going into my point.
okay. Go ahead. I'm with you. Go ahead. The floor is yours. Brother.
So, what I think you're looking at, if the question is to be legitimized, is what you're really examining is a particular thing that plagues all black movement, which is vibrational disharmony. You've got people who appear to be in community, people who seem to share a perspective or a desire.
Oh, wait a minute. I apologize. This is not the same guy. This sounds like somebody different.
Investigate and interrogate their value system or their priorities, you realize that there's a lot of distance between why some people are showing up and why other people are showing up, and that we're not all actually actively trying to achieve these big radical systemic changes.
Okay.
But I think the core issue with your question is suggest that the only predators or the only traders on the plantation landscape were house Negroes, when in fact there were people who were in the fields who also executed traitorism, that also executed being predators.
That is correct. That is correct.
And so I think that
You know that?
politically, I think that in terms of value added, in terms of the weight that's been carried by one particular subgroup of black people or the other, I do think that it's important to humble people who call themselves straight.
What do you mean by humbling people who call themselves straight? What do you mean by that?
I'll make the point that very much so you are a myth as it relates to the volume and the weight of what you contributed to any of the radical movements around the black community. I mean, you've been present, but mostly for cerebral labor. But the places in which people experience harm, violence, negligence, I should say neglect, being in community but out of community at the same time, but also adding really invaluable things to our master narrative of progress as black people on the globe, well, those people had some lean toward what this described earlier, Z described earlier as queerism, and you've used terms like homosexuality and some other things.
Is there something wrong with using the word homosexuality?
Well, no, I don't think that, but I do think if you want to assert your straightness, again, if you want to assert that, I do think you have to understand that even tone matters in trying to investigate that. And that in many cases, like I heard you say something earlier with regard to, well, I can't judge you, or I'm not against it. Well, you're in no position of authority to judge or be against it, because you don't exist in the hierarchy based off your expression of sexuality in proximity to someone else's expression.
But we're talking about us exclusively within the black community, my brother. So we're not dealing with the larger hierarchy of the white power structure. We're talking about us living in the same community as black people. What exactly does LGBTQ stand for, so heterosexuals can better understand your movement? Not that we're necessarily going to agree with it, but at least we can understand you.
You just said it again. Not that we're necessarily going to agree with it,
because we may not. Some people might, some people may not. There's people who agree with me, and there's people who don't. That's just a part of life, Brother Brent.
But you would not make that same statement as to say you may not agree with me being straight. You wouldn't say that same thing. And so in making that statement, which seems very passive and unaggressive, you're making a very problematic assertion about the authority that straightness has over anything else, as if everything else is alternative to straightness, which in fact I'd argue is not.
I would say everything else is an alternative to straightness. Straight is straight, nigga. Like, you go straight. The alternative to straight is to turn, nigga, or to make a left or to make a right. But naturally, when you wake up in the morning, nigga, and you start walking, if I get up right now and I just start walking, guess where I'm walking? I'm walking straight. Unless I'm walking in place, I'm walking straight, all right? If only way I'm not walking straight is if I turn. So when we talk about, at least in my opinion, if we're going to talk about straight and queer, then yes, straight would be the hierarchy, because queer comes under straight. Queer wasn't here first. Straight was here first. So that's just my opinion. That's just me. I'm quite sure there's going to be people who have other opinions, but I'm just going to have to say straight was here first. Like, everything starts with a straight line. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how he's trying to say, like, homosexual. I understand what he's saying, but I feel like he's incorrect in that statement. And then he's upset that straight comes before homosexuality. Homosexuality is the word that somebody made up after they made up the word straight. The word straight was here before homosexuality. I don't know, man. I'm tripping. But I'm just saying, this sounds crazy.
Okay, do this for me, Brother Brent. I got you. Can you?
The word of the day is syllogism.
Okay.
You do not have sex or choose partners in the way that you would like to, truly, under white supremacy.
Wait, say that again. You do not choose sex.
You do not have sex or choose partners in the way that you would like to.
We do not have sex or choose partners in the way we would like to under white supremacy. What do you mean by that?
That in some very unfortunate ways, wherever you see yourself on what they call a spectrum, that we are all inhibited and restricted in how we express ourselves through procreation, through partnership, through community, through the very simple function of the orgasm, as it relates to the way that we are all under the surveillance of white supremacy, that basically says that has always said and continues to say very subtly that black sex should be illegal, that it is amoral, that our sexuality is something other, in the same way that you, as a straight person, would like to other this thing, homosexual, queer. White supremacy certainly others black sexuality, all black sexuality. Understand that. The
Okay.
white supremacy others and takes away the normality and the value of all black sexuality. It's always important when you're on a stage that when a person makes an important statement that you amplify that statement. And I would agree with the good brother Z, anti-capitalism is primary.
No, it's not. White supremacy is primary. White supremacy invented capitalism.
But see, what's so crazy about this conversation is that they're debating that homosexuality comes before racism. This is a debate, definitely within our communities. But I can't see why you would think you would tell somebody like Dr. Umar Johnson to put sexism or colorism or any other ism before racism, before Pan-Africanism. Okay? That's not going to happen with this guy. So they're just calling to argue. It doesn't seem like they're calling to give any real education or insight on, what they're really trying to do or what their real political agenda is or how we could come together as two political parties or something. They're not doing none of that. All they're doing is bashing a heterosexual, or trying to bash or trying to make a heterosexual man look bad on his platform. And that's, I don't know if you agree or not. You don't have to. If you want to drop a comment, you can drop a comment. But that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing I see people trying to attack somebody who unfortunately is too smart and too polished to get, reeled into the nonsense. So let's finish this off.
I understand that, and I'm just clarifying my position that without white supremacy, there is no capitalism. They invented it. Capitalism is the economic system of white supremacy.
Are there LGBTQ agents and ops in the black community? Yes.
I'm sure.
But are there also are there straight agents and ops in the black community? Yes.
I agree. Yes, sir. Nobody said it wasn't. I didn't say that the LGBT community represents the sum total of all degeneracy in the black community. I never said that.
And we know that's true because we understand that we can experience anti-blackness in predominantly black spaces. And so I hope that your conversation evolves to somewhat of a solutions-oriented thing, but I would caution you.
But you didn't give us a single solution, Brother Brandon. How you going to say you want the conversation to evolve to solutions, my brother? You didn't give us not one solution.
You didn't say nothing. You just been arguing the whole time.
You really want them? Or
Sure.
Should I make policy? I run a policy group. It's called Campaign X.
Okay, so in Campaign X, can I ask you a question? And then we got to let you go to move on to some more speakers. But I appreciate you, Brother Brandon, for joining us, brother. What are the 3 major policies you're working on right now in your policy group? Quickly, name the 3. 3 major policies you're working on.
A $33 minimum wage. We also need to rewrite HR 40 so that we can distribute equitably reparations in this country. And statehood for the District of Columbia to ensure that they receive electoral vote representation and also receive legitimate representation in both houses of Congress and a structured government that ideally would be majority black and ideally would elevate policies that would improve the overall quality of life for all Washingtonians, whether or not, residents of the Douglas Commonwealth. Even though that's not where I live, I went to school there and have been deeply immersed in an understanding of the hardships that have historically been faced by blacks there. So $33 minimum wage, rewrite the reparations bill because it is not equitable, it's not trustworthy at this point, and statehood for the District of the Douglas Commonwealth.
And I can respect that. And all 3 of those that you mentioned, it sounds like they would benefit all black people, not just LGBTQ, correct?
I would say that every single one of those policies for me was drafted from the Constitution, from me constituting myself from the position of the queer and bi and gay members of our society. And that's what makes it more valuable for everybody else.
Huh? So
What?
I didn't understand that. Those policies will benefit all black people, correct? That includes gay and straight, correct?
Yes, I just made the important observation that when writing those policies, I didn't constitute myself from seeing myself as a straight black man.
No, not as a straight black man, but as a member of the a member of the black community, correct?
And identifying which identities in my community face the greatest systemic hardships and the greatest exclusion, intercommunity, intraracial, interracial, and
Why does he sound so upset?
All of those particular situations that there
Are you
has to be
mad?
some hyper-focus
What is he
on
mad
people
about?
who have disabilities, people who have social disabilities, people who
Okay.
have socially disadvantaged identities, and yes, those are LGBTQ people.
Okay, so you saying so Brandon, question Brandon, in your reparations bill, you have a special component of reparations just for the LGBTQ.
In the discourse, in the actual bill, no, but in the discourse that's going to lead to what will become a bill, yeah, there's a particular focus group for the interest of black identifying, black activists, black abolitionists, queer identity. Yes.
Okay, I got you. Thanks a lot for that, brother Brand.
As there is an interest group for disabled persons, as there is an interest group for elder persons to contribute to this policy, but we begin at the level at which we see the most harm being done, and we cannot deny that in fact that the group that you are choosing to discourse about today
Yes,
fit
sir.
into that.
Got you, brother.
Yo, so that was a weird conversation. What I'm going to say first and foremost is, I have no problems with the LGBTQ community. They do their thing, and I do my thing. Hopefully we can get together and do some things together. I am pro black, I guess, pro heterosexual male. So, it is what it is. That's just what I am. But I understand, their struggle, as well as, that, they have their struggle, we have our struggle, and we just have to try to get through it together. That's it. Yeah, so, like I said, that was a great conversation. It just seemed I don't know, the guy seemed like he was upset with Dr. Umar. And I don't know if maybe Dr. Umar said something to upset him during the thing or what, but he definitely seemed like, he had an attitude about something. But like I said, once again, what Dr. Umar was trying to do is bridge that gap so that we can start having more open conversations about things. As well as he's doing, it sounds like he got a lot of policies about to push through, for black people. So that's definitely a beautiful thing. And those are the type of things that we need to come together and talk about more is, helping come together and do some policies together that help black men and as well as help the black LGBTQ community. Because I feel like from what I'm hearing, the white there's a white LGBTQ community and a black LGBTQ community. And unfortunately, the black LGBTQ community is not being treated, as fair as well, we all know how this system works. So you already know how the black ones are being treated. So, we just have to come together and make something happen as a community, because I don't care what nobody says. We black first. Like, we're black. This skin right here, we're black first.